Hello everybody, my name is Jose Nava. I will be your instructor for your class this summer, Accounting 1B. We run, as you know already, for about 6 weeks, starting July 3rd, all the way to approximately August 16th, I think. We'll check that in a second. As you see on the screen right now, you're seeing the homepage for your Canvas site for our class. And on the left side, you've got different features you'll be using. In fact, right now you're looking at my instructor view. So let me go and switch to the student view. So it will be exactly what you'll be seeing when you log in. This is your view. And so I will ask you to navigate through these features to see what they are. I'm also going to say that there is going to be this space in the middle that I'll be using for informing you about what to do each week, and also about maybe other urgent messages that I want to get across and display basically in your face throughout the week. So this is a good space to always come to every time you log in. Below, you see some other resources that I might place here. Most of these are going to be optional. And then on the right side in this section, you see the modules. This also serves as a sort of a navigation for the quarter. You know what is due, basically, generally, what's covered, generally every week. As you see, for week 1, we'll be covering chapter 10, week 2, 11 and 12, plus the midterm exam, the first one, and then week 3, 13, and so on. So again, this gives you sort of an orientation to what's going on each week on a per chapter basis. In week 0, meaning now, right before you begin the actual content for the class, you'll be covering the orientation for the class. Now here I've got this expanded sort of menu of things to do for the orientation. You're going to be going to the week 0 module to do that work. And then once you are done with week 0 module, you're going to come down and do week 1 module. Now, you can access those modules directly from either these links that I provided for you here, or you can go to the left side navigation panel where it has modules. You can go there as well, same thing, or you can navigate through these links in here. So whatever you think it's best for you, you choose. For now, I'm just going to go through here, and I'm going to then click onto the module, and you see this. And as you see, there's actually week 0 module. Below here is week 1 module. Let's just focus on the orientation. So I'm going to go here first, and you should be approaching each module sequentially. So you go obviously to the very first one under the orientation section, and here you'll see a lesson that I created to sort of guide you through the different parts of the course, including the Canvas. I call it the Canvas tour. So I'm going to give you sort of a little tour of what Canvas, how I'm using Canvas. Part 1, Part 2. This is going to be one section that it relates to the syllabus overview, a little bit about the gradebook, how to register into my lab section, important for these first 2 days, a tour of actually my lab, and then also how to navigate the actual modules themselves. So what I would do in this case, I can start here, click on that. I can navigate with these links on the left, or I can just simply blow it up and then go down the line and basically go and see what each of these features, how they're being used for this class. Now, I actually like to click on this link on top instead, because it will take me to the full view of the lessons, so it will be easier to see. And so when I start this off again, it will be the same thing as I just showed you before, but on a bigger scale. So you can actually again go through these. Once you've got done through one part, you can just go back, or you can go to the bottom. You'll see part 2 or lesson 2, and so you're going to go there, and then it will show you how I use the second part of that. At the bottom again, you go here, and you actually be able to see the section that relates to the syllabus. And so here I show you that there's a section for my contact information and other things that relate to the class. There's a one for the outline of the class. It shows you what we're covering. The textbook itself, what are we using, is obviously the same thing that you probably use in Accounting 1A. This is what it says here. So If you have it already, you don't have to buy it again. Keep that in mind. Again, read what the syllabus says. It has all the information you need. Part 2, a little bit more about how to actually register for the class, including other purchase options. If you go to this button on top, you can keep going to the right, or you can actually just scroll back and forth like this if you want. So here's the section in the syllabus that relates to the announcements and how to communicate through I guess how we communicate through announcements, but don't use email actually. But if you have to, you can do it as it says right there. There's also a piece on communication. More generally, there's something about assignments, more detail about each of the assignments there. If you want to read that detail, that's fine. More importantly, your grading, it's in here. You can just look at it on your own. You can ask me questions later. Grading part 2, this is just the scale and a few other notes that you should read. My policies for the class, important to read about those. Some resources, the calendar, how it's organized, please read that as well. We'll talk more about it in a different part of this orientation. Some important notes to read about, and finally the philosophy. So this is the whole overview of the syllabus. I keep going. Here's the grade book. Again, it has a few notes that you need to sort of just look at. My lab registration, it will walk you through each of the steps that you need to do to actually register into my accounting lab. You keep moving through that lesson, you can see how to do it. Then you have a little tour of the actual tool. So I show you my accounting lab itself, and some pictures of it and some notes. Here's how homeworks and assignments are seen in the My Lab tool. Here's how you access the e-text. What's something called multimedia library. How does homework look? Some homework tools and so on. So you get the idea. You have to navigate through these yourself and kind of read what it says. Here's a little bit about how I use the modules. So please read about them. You see that if you click on these, you get some other info on that item. Your textbook. So you can actually always click on these things if you want to hear my voice. And at this point, that's all. That's the last part of that orientation. So you're back here in the module, and I'm going to go back here to the overview. That took you through this piece there, the course orientation. If you want, by optional, you can use these other, go to these other 2 pages. Then submit the orientation quiz. Read about my bio if you wish. Post your own bio in here. You must do this. So there are 3 things you need to do to begin with. Okay, just keeping this in mind. You need to definitely go through your orientation, submit the orientation quiz, submit your bio, and then also when you get to the chapter 10 content module, you're going to be then looking through these pages, but also in that case, you're going to be submitting your attendance by Tuesday, and then some kind of a class participation posting for the chapter using these threads right there, and then submitting your assignments, reading check 10, homework check 10. Once you go through the syllabus, you know what these are. So that's how you navigate the class, generally speaking. I wanted to make this very brief. Go ahead and review the whole orientation on your own. And if you have questions, you can always set them up or post them. Let me go back to orientation. I went back too fast. If you have questions, you should use this thread right there. You can click on this as I'm doing now, and simply just reply to this and then give me a question. Okay, as we go through the week, you can do that. That's the orientation discussion thread. Here is the virtual office hours. This is the discussion thread for any kind of administrative questions you might have over the whole quarter. Now this one, again, orientation is only the first couple days. This one is throughout the quarter. And there's also some other ones later, as you'll see. Again, any questions, post them there. Thank you and enjoy.